side.
Of course.
My goodness. The top view coming in. You love to see it.
Perfect way to open. And for Liquid, they've got a lot of
they've started.
There we go.
Here we go. How did I know this was coming? Oh boy, this is going to be a banger of a series, I can already tell.
I love Malaysian crowds.
They are fantastic. Malaysia Bole is the way you say it.
Bole.
Bole. All right. I'm learning, Jonathan. Give me a break.
You're picking up, Mike.
Mid lane. We'll see if they can break into a level 1 team fight here between these two tiers. It'd be a fantastic way to start this best of 3 series. And BetBoom, they are already looking to set up Team Liquid, standing around the area as well. We shall see. They do want to go. It seems like Liquid will head down towards the bottom side of the map, and BetBoom, they will head up top. So you could try for Nightfall here. Nightfall getting a little bit spicy, but no, he will retreat. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, nothing too exciting as the lanes break out. Really keen on seeing these lane matchups coming in. And Saberlight on the Mars is going to be one thing as well. Like, you know, we've seen the Mars changes. We've seen a lot more Mars pop out as well as this tournament has gone on. With this solid combination with the Shadow Demon, it's a really steady lane. It's really easy to line up some aggression down the line. Your matchup against Lifestealer can play into that. You've got some saves, some harassment coming out with Pugna as well, especially once you've got the decrep up. But it does feel like for Liquid, you know, it's down to whether or not Saberlight can start playing his game. And on something like the Mars, that's something you can expect to come out relatively fast here.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you're looking at the mid lane as well. Nisha and GPK going at it. Nisha, inability to choose a real hero in 2023, sadly, but he is playing nonetheless here against GPK, who does not have his Storm like you mentioned.
Yeah, it's a change-up for him. This is a matchup we've seen multiple times before. It does feel better for Pango. I think it's down to Orb of Corrosion changes. You can stick with the Blightstone. It's more economical. All your damage is physical, so it's a lot easier to just kind of pump out early damage onto the wave. Lots of trading back and forth in the side lanes while we do peek up top. We've got Pure on that center along with Save on the Grimstroke. A really solid combination in the lane. Just a standard Inkswell stun combination lane. Not much Insania can do to stop that. He can trade really nicely with a Wave of Terror. And it is a pretty nice lane for Dedusa, or at least a good partnership for Dedusa down the line. Once you've got the value points in Vengeance Warrior, that takes quite a few levels for the Venge. But there's some good scaling lined up for Mike. He just has to watch his spacing. And again, I'm really keen to see what build-up we'd expect here from Mike. Will we see something new like the Kanda down the line?
We shall see. Only time will tell. This bottom lane, Saberlight and Box have been going at it here against Nightfall and Toronto Tokyo. It's like a pretty kind of classic farming lane between these two sides. No real action happening. Of course, you do have the setup with Boxy's Disruption, so Saberlight's feeling a little bit cheeky. He can ask for the disruption to the spear setup, but chances are you will be aiming Toronto Tokyo down with that as top lane. They're going to try after Pure, but Pure will be okay to retreat. A fair bit of damage being dealt, but nothing right home with it.
Yeah, some good harassment coming in. You're also at the point for Mika where his mana pool isn't the healthiest, so you've done a great job on Pure and just running up, hoof stomping down. We haven't really seen too many combinations with Inkswell, but once that mana is depleted on Mika, that's when things can get a little dicey for Dedusa for us.
Jumping from Insania, but does ping out Save decides better off it though. Pure was in position. In fact, he does go for a double hoof stomp. Not going to amount to too much. Insania will be able to retreat, though Pure does get the cheeky Inkswell off at the end. That's going to be about it. Liquid will be able to successfully retreat once again. Nice to see some aggression on this top.
Yeah, that's what you want to see coming out from BetBoom, though. Like, you can't allow Mika to be feeling comfortable on the Medusa. Last time we saw Dedusa in a game here, it was pressured heavily. They didn't allow Dedusa to farm up with all the rotations up top, pressure onto that tier 1 top as well early on. And you're kind of set to replicate that timing here on BetBoom. So Pure Ring of Health flying out, going to be a lot harder to shove him away. They got the Lotus as well. He's feeling great. Mika, I mean, he's got the Basilius at the very least to help him sustain through the lane. But again, just one good shove out and a good opening being found here by Save with an angle from the stroke into the Inkswell. That chain stun can take care of Dedusa very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having a look back in the mid lane, Nisha's having a very good time on this Pango. 24-3 in comparison to the 16-0 of GPK. So CS-wise, Nisha is not having a very tough time and currently sitting top of the CS board, which it kind of says something, right? Like, this is a Nisha Pango. You really can't underestimate how this guy will play if he does get off to a good start, and that is certainly where he is right now.
Yeah, he's just set up for a great time.
Top lane, Pure trying to get aggressive, does get rid of all the mana of Mike. They will not pursue any further, but they have certainly made it so Mike is going to be pretty afraid to stick around.
Yeah, he's He's getting some clarities in. He's getting, again, some region out from the Basilius, but this threat from Pure, it's going to be consistent. It's a kill lane with a Grimstroke. You do want to play fast and aggressive. You can't do too much on the bench, although Insania's done a great job. He's been pocketing that magic missile for the charge in from Pure, but it's not the comfiest of time here for Mike. Bottom of the net of the CS board, not a great tone for the Deuce. Gonna have to try to recover with some space and stacks below.
Oh, top lane Pure, gonna go past the tier 1 tower. Mike completely out of mana, and Pure just going right in, no hesitation, stomping up Mike, and oh, even Insania not out of the woods yet. Pure continuing the chase. Insania will at least have a magic missile, but Pure is not done. He wants that double edge. Can he break the gap for it? Ooh. The stun will not let. Nevertheless, you got the Medusa.
That's the big kill you wanted. And again, it's just down to how well they're positioning here on BetBoom. Just standing forward, Pure is just constantly applying that harassment with the double edge, and they're just camping. Mike, he just spawned.
I mean, why the hell not? Mike gonna get jumped again. Top lane, Pure gets the Inkswell off, looking for the hoof stop straight after, goes for the double edge first, into the hoof stop. He's got another double edge. No. Mike, he'll stick charge up, still trying to run. The TPs are incoming. Pure, he's the one to go down, but Mike, he will still drop a save. Save will drop to boot by the looks of it. Insania to secure a double kill on the Venge. What do you think, John? Is that worth it for Liquid?
It feels good for Liquid. At the same time, you just TP'd on Mike.
You did.
He's going to have to walk back in lane. He's going to have to deal with all of these levels. The Vanguard timing lining up here as well.
Nightfall. Rage will be popped. Spear is perfectly timed. Saberlight not messing around. Nightfall still trying to back off, but he has no way out. Perfect setup from Saberlight. And you see Mike, he is very happy with what he sees.
I mean, this is a fantastic start coming out from the side of Liquid, at least with Saberlight. You know, this lane, it's not under pressure.
Toronto, Tokyo. In fact, even on the other side of the mid lane, they are just going right onto the Venge. Insania looking to drop, does go down. They are still chasing the partner, though. Toronto is also going to drop. So a 1-for-1 trade. Thing is, GPK, he does get the power rune, and it was an illusion rune. He'll even find the bounty runes now in the pot.
Yeah, just a lot of refills for GPK to enable that aggression coming in. Again, it's rather even to start with. The one big difference maker really is just this start for Mike. The kill onto Nightfall offsets that just a little bit. You've already got Mike walking into the top jungle, building up. Doesn't quite have the split shot, so it's not as fast, but the Mystic Snake spam is just as effective to an extent. The one thing for Liquid is you're reaching the point where Saberlight is going to be ready to go. Like the threat of Arena, it's going to be up. It's a lot easier to land just a spear into Arena, and it's one of those matchups up against Lifestealer where that quicker timing, starting with spear, is just so important up against this hero that has an inbuilt spell immunity.
That it is, of course, the 7-minute mark now. Moxie will be able to secure his Wisdom Rune. Looks like the side of BetBoom will not go for theirs quite. They'll just leave it be, but Liquid not in position to try and steal as bottom lane Saberlight going to try and be a little bit aggressive here up against Nightfall. But these are all warning shots from Saberlight. He's just saying, listen, I can do this anytime I want.
And he has a huge level advantage over Nightfall. Nightfall's still stuck, about to hit 5. The Arena threat is ready in Saberlight, so they can easily make a move there. And Liquid, again, this is where they're lining up some aggression. You've still got Boxy camping around. You're basically just giving away top. Pure has managed to clear that top tier 1, and he's doing a great job of just controlling the Watchers up top, ensuring that they can keep track as to where Mike is at, make it as uncomfy as possible for the Dusa. There is decent enough room coming out, but it is just Pure alone now. That's enough space for Mike to breed, at least, to farm.
Yeah, the thing is, Pure is just getting anything he could ask for as well. Like, he's second in net worth right now on the Centaur. And it is the thing. Like, Mike might feel like he can farm, but Pure is much further ahead as mid lane. GPK already gone. Nisha just blowing him up. A save now going to be chased. Tips out from Nisha. Save. Looks like he's not getting out either. Trying his absolute best to run. In fact, Toronto's going to move in to help out Save, but he is to not be saved. He will go as Insania to take another double kill.
It's just so hard to play into the Pangolier now. Again, it's all physical damage. You're amplifying it up with most of what Orb of Corrosion used to give you with Blightstone alone, and you can just rush into that Diffusal. This timing for Nisha, his aggression's just going to be lining up, and he can just easily connect onto Saberlight. They can buy even more space out for Mika. Pure, he's just camping up top, farming. You're getting some room out to build up onto GPK as well. But there's no responses to the aggressions just yet from Liquid. And again, although BBT has taken up the top tower to invade, get some vision down to keep track of Mika, it's not like they're invading and pressuring the Deuce anyway. She's still relatively safe, even under vision. At some point, they've got to rotate in, you know, make sure Mika just doesn't hit that critical mass on the... It's still a Deuce. You know, it's still a tough nut to crack at the later point in the game.
Certainly is. Top lane, Xenia, gonna get jumped here. Pure is trying to move in with the slow of the stroke of fate, and now the ink swap, but the stun will come out from Insania. In fact, now the rotations are coming. They would love the send, but instead they will go after Save. Disruption will hold him down, and Save will eventually have to drop. It's Pure. I mean, he kind of sticks around the area, but they are at a spot to throw it.
I like that BetBoom do identify that they've got to make something happen, Tom. They've got this steady start coming out from Pure. It is difficult without that blink. It's hard to get that jump in. You aren't dragging GPK just yet for these side lane movements as well. So it's really just down to trying to run up and hoping that the stuns are available, which is, at this point, optimistic. Blink Dagger, only 200 gold away, and that should be the time it starts to line up a little bit easier for the side of BetBoom. Down mid.
Nice pickup from JPK with the invis room, but or rather Nisha, certainly showing off how much damage he has with that swashbuckle with the diffusal blade up. It's very scary. They lost almost half their HP from one swash.
I mean, that's the timing now. You don't bother with Orb of Corrosion. That saved money, builds into this faster diffusal. You do more damage for the shield crash. And we've seen this hero just do so much more early on. They are smoking around here on Liquid. Trying to find that angle.
They still want the Centaur Pure. Will Pure read the movement incoming? Like, he just brought a blink up. So at the very least, he's got no gold to really lose here. But Pure, still going to go for a run. Spidey senses are tingling. The rotations are perfect from Liquid. Pure, Disruption is going to lock him down. Can they get the kill, though? Pure is a big, big tanky boy, but Nish just going to have no trouble. Forget what I said, John. Not that tank.
Doesn't feel that way at all. A nice kill to find. Good movement finally coming out with that smoke and buying some space out. Again, there's no attention being dragged onto the side lanes at the very least for BetBoom, so you've got a free area for Nightfall to farm. But you're also, again, you're allowing Mika to play this arms race. This Dusa, after a slower start, it's eclipsed Nightfall on a very free lane in terms of build-up. It's just the matchup, the way it works. You know, you're going to be clearing caps faster on the Dusa. You're so much more efficient jumping through those areas. Nightfall can't really achieve that same farming pace. They will try to get some movement out now on BetBoom's side. And they, again, have this fresh blink up on Pure. That wasn't revealed with his death. They can get something big here.
They're going to try for Saberlight. That's a big boy. However, towards the mid lane, Toronto Tokyo has been jumped. Still, they try for Saberlight. They've got the Mars controlled up, and they will find him. Toronto still running, still buying space. Will drop eventually, but it is not the best trade for Liquid. BetBoom should be much happier with this.
Certainly so. Great smoke coming out. Big kill on Saberlight, who again was left alone for a long time in the bot lane.
GPK purges out. They know the orb is on cooldown there. He will be able to pounce away with the Waning Rift, and now with the Dream Coil locking down 3, there is no chase to be had. Or even popping the Stampede just in case GPK needed it.
I mean, it's a good save. You do get concerned when you're having to pop all your big team fight spells to just escape, but it's early enough in the game that it's worth the use. You're going to be sitting back and farming up more often than not. They will reconnect for another smoke. It's the dynamic duo of Save and Pure now. They need to maximize this blink timing. On the hunt, could try onto Saberlight again, but they'll go through the gate. If they find Mika, that would be a bigger target for sure. And they've lost the forward vision, but they've got a really good idea while he's clearing out these creep waves.
Mika gonna try and retreat. Pure gonna wrap around the long way through the Dire Jungle. Oh, Mika, he's going up the high ground. The jump is there. They've got the Medusa, and they've certainly got the damage. Mika is fallen. Nightfall will be able to secure the kill, because that is an extremely scary combination to have to deal with.
And it's just so much output, so much durability here as well for BetBoom team, having the Infest vehicle on that Centaur. It's a lot more HP than the side of Liquid can really try to rip apart at this moment, even with Nisha around, if he was even around. Liquid, they're looking around down bot, eyes on GPK, but the slippery puck can be a harder target to kind of pin down here. Saberlight's still waiting for his own blink timing to kick in now, only a few hundred gold away. And that should lead to Liquid trying to replicate some of that movement that BetBoom has been getting done. Again, the good news for Liquid was Mika is getting some good farm. That does offset it a little bit. You are equalizing now with Nightfall. His armlet's up. Once that Radiance is up, it's going to be a little bit painful for Liquid. You're not going to be too comfy sitting up front and just hitting on the Dusa and just trying to get that damage out. The vision game coming out from BetBoom is also really nice defensively. Just watching these areas they want to camp and build up. Liquid having a few forward wards by the Watcher down bot. Not something they're utilizing yet, but again, we saw them camping around the area, just needing that blink up so Saberlight can start making some plays.
Where's the blink up now? They do have the initiation available on the Mars whenever they want to try and use it. Smoke has been brought out here from Boxy rather, and they are going to group up mid lane. So it seems as though they want to try and get a surprise reveal on this blink. Nisha showing himself mid lane on the creep wave, almost baiting the side of BetBoom in. Nobody taking that bait quite yet. It seems as though it's rather obvious. So Nisha going to group up with his team, it seems, and perhaps join the smoke. Where do you go, though? Up towards the top lane, perhaps. You are already leaving the area. But you've still got Nightfall around the corner on that lifesteal. That's the big target they really want. Cutting through the river. Save is in position to try and break the smoke first, but Boxy is going to wrap around by the seams of it towards the height. No, never mind. They're going to jump in. They found a Grim Stroke. A very nice tank of the gank here from Save. Nightfall is going to be able to TP away. So I'd say overall BetBoom probably okay with that.
Very okay with that. You don't lose anything too big. That's a lot of time invested out from Liquid to group up so tightly just for that Grimstroke kill. And you're getting the build-up you'd want here on BetBoom. BKB being formed up by Pure. You've got a Maelstrom up and running on GPK. So he's aiming to just get a lot of damage coming out here and clear out these waves a lot better, of course. Get some farm going. I'm rather curious where he goes with the Maelstrom. He's going to go for something like the Gleipnir here. Hold on.
She finds a spear into the Lifestealer, but Nightfall still going to be okay to just walk away. I mean, it was just Saberlight jumping in, kind of threatening him, maybe trying to get some D wards out here from BetBoom. They are still chasing. Spear is back up. If they could catch Nightfall somehow with this, it would be such a great kill. Saberlight, though, not quite quick enough. The rage will be there. Still the swap out now from Insania. The rage is gone, and he is down. Oh boy, tips out from Saberlight. Oh, Nightfall, maybe just a little bit too confident.
He had Infest. He had every moment to just take a creep, run away, and save himself. Maybe not expecting the backup. Again, there's no vision for BetBoom up around the top area. They did plant one in the river, but that was before that entire movement.
Oh, Mikae. Surround down at the bottom lane. This is the one target you really want if you're BetBoom. However, he does have Boxy behind him to help out. BetBoom, they seem to realize that they do have some very deep vision past the Tier 1 tower. And with that, they'll see the rotation from the Shadow Demon, and they've seen enough. BetBoom will leave the area, understanding they have not got the open.
Yeah, it's a little bit of time expended, but you're still happy. Again, you're getting some movement out. You're getting the build-up you'd want here on the side of BetBoom. All you need to do is just kind of finish up. Once you have that BKB up and running on Pure, he's not going to be too worried about anything. Ideally, you'd have that Radiance up and running as well.
Things out towards the top lane again. Saberlight really wants this Lifestealer. But you do have Nisha to back you up for the damage, but you need to be able to land that initial stun. Keep in mind, you do have the Veil of Discord now up on Saberlight to boot, and that's obviously a very nice item now for these melee strength cores, especially in that offlane. Just so much utility, and the stats are also fantastic for the Mars, so a bit more bonus damage here for Saberlight to boot. Can you initiate is the question. They are lacking a bit of vision on Nightfall right now, and it seems as though he's going to be able to retreat back towards his Tier 2 tower. And Liquid, they might just let this one go.
Yeah. Just kind of let it be. Scan does spot out that camping movement as well. They're not going to be able to fully utilize that. They've got a nice defensive ward here on the side of BetBoom. If they did decide to invade further on the side of Liquid, they have managed to get a little bit more space out. Bot Tier 1 being denied does open up a little bit of map space for the side of BetBoom. So they've got a little bit more room to play with. And again, while they're just kind of hanging around, you are getting that farm on Pure. He's the one getting the space on that Centaur. You have built up quite nicely on Mikado. Manta up, Butterfly next. Going to be hitting much harder up front. So nothing too drastically different for our Dusa here, which is, I mean, it's to be expected, but I kind of wanted to see something like the Conda.
Yeah?
You know, something different.
They got a double damage rune on GPK now.
Amplify damage.
Excuse me, amplified damage. I mean, if you look at the bottled rune, it does say double damage. So there you go.
Beta
Literally
game.
unplayable.
Beta game.
Literally unplayable. Here is BB. BetBoom, they're going to move in. The three-man smoke out. The Radiant jungle they go, rather the Radiant triangles. They'll see Nisha in a moment. GPK trying to jump in, actually goes onto Insania. First Insania, already blown up, but they do find Save. The Grimstroke though gets the spellbind off, but here comes Saberlight with the arena down, locking Toronto Tokyo in. It will be a 2-for-1 trade. No course to drop quite yet.
It's not the worst result for the side of BetBoom. Having to pop Soulbind, but also forcing out Arena and the roll just for supports. It's not too bad for Liquid. They're going to be happy with that. They take a tier 1. They're going to go back. They get some activity out from Mike as well in that movement. And again, they get themselves some more map space to play with. BetBoom have done a pretty good job of just being patient, right? They're trying to get movement out. At the same time, they're not committing all in. They're using GPK. They know how mobile he is, how hard he is to pin down. They're not dragging out Pure and Nightfall just yet. Wait for that BKB, wait for that Radiance. Start to play around with that Infest Bomb combination once more. Liquid is just working the map though. 4K up, the movement has been on point from the side of Liquid. And that Butterfly for Mike, it's ticking closer here. Only 800 gold away for this usage to become a real monster up front.
Absolutely. Mike is certainly getting to the point now. You've got to start to be very worried if you are BetBoom, and they just have not found the big openings they're looking for. But perhaps maybe with the Radiance up on Nightfall, he could start to join his team and try to be a little bit aggressive as Saberlight getting jumped. Spear is out. He will catch the Grimstroke, and it seems like he will be able to retreat. Boxy in the meantime, he goes on Pure. They get the Purge off, but do they have the spells? They will not for now, as Insania moving in from the backside has found Toronto Tokyo. Here comes Nisha to boot. Soulbind is out. They'll lock him down. Spear onto the partner, but they are still dropping here on Liquid. It'll be a 1-for-1 so far as Pure going to jump back in. They'll try for Boxy now. Boxy will be the second to fall on Liquid as the fight does continue, but can they do it with Mike? They've got Nightfall. The Arena going to lock him in. Nightfall, no choice but to fight back here against Saberlight. It'll take him with him, but it is still going to be a massive kill for Liquid as Pure in again, trying to go after Nisha. Nisha's going to drop now. Pure, he's got no mana left on this Medusa, so it should be another one to go. BetBoom, they make the fight work. Team Liquid, they are going to get absolutely wiped.
It's that timing. BKB comes out in Pure. He's willing to join in. Radiance was up as well on Nightfall, so they're willing to take that counter fight. It looked like a really great counter initiation out from Liquid with patience for Saberlight to get that Arena as the BKB and Rage fade away.
My goodness.
But they ripped apart that backline. They take away the saves in the Shadow Demon being taken out really quick, the Venge not having swap, being just deleted at the start of the fight. You lack the tools to take these prolonged fights, and this early shard as well coming out here from Saved, and that healing just makes it so oppressive. With these two melee cores being such great Inkswell targets, they're always going to have a little bit of HP to play with.
It's a tough affair here for Liquid. They're going to have to sit back and relax for a little bit. Still an extremely close game as you see the happy faces of BetBoom. They are feeling the energy now. Onto the Tormentor they go. Boom will go ahead and take another objective for themselves. Who gets the shards up? It's going to be Toronto Tokyo.
Pretty good shard to get for free. Allows you to deal with maybe some of these Shadow Demon illusions if it's an issue, the Medusa illusions as well with the Manta. So you've got a really easy answer now coming in with Toronto Tokyo and that life drain onto the ward. Liquid, they had such a nice stable lead for such a long time, but the patience from BetBoom, again, realizing that moment on bot, it's going to set them back a bit. Like, you feel big with this Dusa already having the Butterfly and the Manta, but it's not quite lining up. I like what Mika's trying, though. He is going for the Eternal Shroud. So some of that theory crafting is kicking in. A little bit of that mana regen on hand. We'll see if that Dusa becomes unkillable once that's fully up.
That's what you were literally telling me before the game started.
Yeah.
Is like this Eternal Shroud Medusa is going to be a big problem for any team that has to go up against it. And it's just a question now of whether Mike is going to get it at a nice timing. We shall see. It seems like both sides are going to sit back. BetBoom, they are allowing plenty of time here for Nightfall to work towards the Assault Cuirass now to boot. So see that armor going to be very, very effective against heroes like the Dusa. And BetBoom, they know the game's very even. They're not going to overextend their welcome here against the side of Liquid. One team fight could really just turn the game back the other way. And Liquid, they're already on the hunt in the Radiant jungle, having a look around for somebody. But nobody from BetBoom is going to be around.
They've done a great job of just avoiding. And Liquid still has this really good vision control down bot in that expanded jungle, but nothing too forward. A lot of sentries all over the map from Liquid, though, just to ensure that BetBoom aren't aware where this movement is out. And BetBoom completely dark on the map. It makes it hard for them to try to play. I am curious, that this is a little bit of weird theory crafting.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation a while ago. If you did get into tier 5s, that unwaverable, on something condition for the Dusa sounds pretty fun.
Certainly does.
That's way down the line. As BetBoom, they're not waiting that long. They'll try for a smoke out.
They're gonna know.
It is dark. They don't see anyone.
Boxy is out, they will jump in. Nice cancel on the TP. They'll get rid of one. Saberlight, though, will be able to get through the twin gates and escape. So they do just get a support for themselves. I suppose you can force Roshan, though, and that seems to be exactly what BetBoom wants. They want a little bit more out of it.
Can Liquid get a read on that? I mean, they instantly scan out. They don't have the quickest TP points to contest, but it's also not the fastest Roshan in the world. Liquid doesn't seem like they're going to be coming in. So a nice free Roshan lined up here for the side of BetBoom. Considering, again, how durable this lineup is, 2 lives on the life sphere is going to be very hard to contend with. 2 lives in GPK if you wanted to play more up front on the puck. Also really hard to contest. He also already had the Axe up here for GPK, so he does have the attack on the Dream Coil, which combined with the Maelstrom timing he has, it's going to be a lot of output. Again, in a lot of these prolonged fights, which BetBoom have been finding themselves in.
That they certainly have. And BetBoom going to be very, very happy with the Aegis. Liquid, of course, back to the farming game for them, back to the avoid game for now. It seems as though Mike getting closer and closer now to his own Eternal Shroud. That'll be perhaps the timing where he makes his team kind of group up and go. So you also have Saberlight working towards that new Shiver's Guard, which does feel pretty damn strong, especially when you're up against heroes like the Lifestealer and the Centaur, that is. And it seems like they'll be given at least a few minutes here from BetBoom to just enjoy themselves in the jungle.
Yeah, for BetBoom, they can just build up. I would love to see them get some forward vision. Again, most of their wards aren't too far out. They have a ward watching the ramp side. They've not been able to cross the river all too much in the past few moments. It's been Liquid kind of journeying across on that opposite side of the map. But they're playing it steady. I mean, you're up against a Dusa. It's not a net worth lead coming out for Liquid. And with a Dusa, it does feel like you kind of want to play it like one of those cores that want an item advantage early. You know, you want to flash farm, you want to be bigger than the opposing core. And for a while, it was the case for Mika. He is still 2K up. But at this point, 2K, it's not a massive differential for the Lifestealer or for any hero to kind of contend with on the cores.
Appreciate the itemization here from Boxy as well, like just going straight for the Pipe of Insight, having the support items available for his team. Bring up some slots here for Saberlight as Lion, GPK, oh, he's going to jump in. Orb away is there though. He will be just fine. The Dream Core has been expended. And Liquid, you could think about a fight. And they will. 5-man smoke is up. Right towards the north. Or do they go for the Radiant Triangle? Where do you want to go, Liquid? Or GPK? The closest target to them. GPK just going to hide on the high ground for now, as it seems as though they're going to find Save instead on the Grimstroke. Meanwhile, the Radiant Jungle is going to be occupied as they do make the jump in. Onto Save. Save going to melt very, very quick. So Liquid gets something for their trouble. Onto the top lane, they go looking for Toronto Tokyo. But Toronto with the immediate TP out will be just fine.
Not the biggest kill to find off the back of that smoke. But this is still Liquid playing the aggressor into the Aegis. They've got the confidence to force this fight after seeing GPK pop his teamfight control with the Dream Coil. And that could lead to an opportunity to just force in all of these waves, repair the lanes, keep playing that farm game.
Jump in, Benicia! Oh, that's a quick blink.
God.
Those are some fast hands.
I mean, Nisha's insane. Really good timing. That was the movement we need to see from BetBoom. Well,
they're having a look at the Lifestealer, but they will think better of it. He was right by the tier 2 mid tower, so probably not well advised to try and go for that attempt on the Lifestealer with an Aegis up. But still, I think you're going to be very happy with the fact that the initiation from BetBoom just leads to nothing.
That it does. And again, you're holding on to the Aegis here on BetBoom. Liquid's the one getting some successful movement out. BetBoom are just kind of stuck. They at least have this forward piece of vision on the top jungle now. So that could allow them to have a launching point and try to get something done. They're also inching towards the Silver Edge being finished up on Nightfall, which should help with a little bit of the damage and just shortening some of these fights down for themselves here. But Liquid, again, they're in a really good spot. It's still a lot of gold on the Dusa. It's not a massive item advantage on the Dusa anymore. You still have 1K up on BetBoom, but the game is fairly equal outside of just this Aegis. And BetBoom just haven't done much with it. It's down to 1 minute. There's some pressure here to get something done with a secondary life.
Yeah, it seems like they'll try to focus on that tier 2 top tower. See, plenty of farm has been had in the league. That is the one big positive, right? They just kind of abused this Aegis for farming. There was one attempt, but obviously, as you saw, it did not pan out. And things are getting rather scary in some sense. Like, you look at GPK, he's got the Mjolnir past the Ags up, so he can kind of be his own little carry there in the Dream Coil as well. And you can't underestimate how much damage that Mjolnir does now as well. It is a fair bit on the puck of all things. So there's plenty of heroes to worry about here from BetBoom if you are Liquid. But now, again, they are just completely avoiding each other. But BetBoom, even as the Aegis is about to expire in 30 seconds, they'll go for a smoke down towards the south of the map. See if they can find themselves a bit of a value play. Boxy's already left the area. In fact, everyone else from Liquid are also going to be able to escape.
Smart read coming out from Liquid, understanding that Aegis is about to expire. They're going to want to make a move. It's rather unfortunate for BetBoom that some of these items aren't lining up with when this Aegis was up, right? Like, the Ags for save is still about 600 gold away. Silver Edge, about 1,000 gold away, so it needs a little bit more time to cook up, and that's just allowing Liquid to play their game. If they've been keeping track of that clock, they should know. The lifestealer is manageable right now without that secondary life. They just need to get that angle of initiation right. They can't afford to lose their supports. Like, the moment you lose Shadow Demon and Venge, it's going to be messy for Liquid. 5-man
smoke here. Liquid, they see GPK at that top rune spot. He'll orb the other way. They'll find a damage amp rune. Spot on rune spot. Mickey is going to take the bottle and fill it up for himself, as they will see the puck orb going through. Mickey, he could really, really use himself a team fight right now with all the damage he does have, but the only person they find is going to be saved once again. It's a kill, but it's not what Liquid really want.
No, and they actually did pop the double damage, or the amplify damage rune for that. They're not going to have that, but it should enable a little bit of a shove.
Oh, they got a gem out of that. There is a bit of extra value.
A little bit of value. Again, not the big kills you'd want, but popping this amplify damage, they're just going to poke onto the objective and just get some decent damage going here. Inside of BetBoom, not looking to defend, again, just working the map, shoving out the other lanes, shoving up top with Nightfall, bot here with GPK, willing to take the tier 2 hit. It's an equal map on paper. 2 tier 2 still stand for both sides. Roche access is going to be the next focal point for both sides. Still ways off until that next respawn. And as this game scales on, it's a rather interesting head-to-head. Like, you are dealing with Medusa, you don't have the best way of bringing down her mana. At the same time, you've got a puck trying to scale for right clicks with some damage coming out with the Dream Coil. You've got a Lifestealer who's going to start to do a lot of damage, and the Radiance is still a nuisance for a lot of these heroes, especially as the BKBs fade, if any at all. And you've got this ultra-durable Centaur that's just going to be taking points. So there's a lot to play with on both sides. I don't think there's a timer necessarily for either side. It's just going to be down to execution. Like,
it's really incredible how close the game is as well here, John. Like, 3K, I know you already kind of said this, but 52% win probability here for BetBoom. It's only a 2% difference between these two, and that 2% may not matter, as Saberlight going to try and find Pure, will miss out. Spear was already committed, he had no other cancel.
Yeah, miss out on that opportunity. Just dragging some space away once more, BetBoom and Liquid. It's going to be an arms race. I'm a little bit surprised we don't have as much vision around the pits, or at least around the gates. It's going to be the next focal point for sure for both sides. Ags is up for save.
Oh boy.
And that Dark Portrait of Dusa is going to do a ton of work.
That hurts.
If it positions correctly from save. So this is a big spike for BetBoom. If they wanted to force that fight now, they've got a lot of tools to play with.
They want to go straight away into the Dyed Triangle. They'll get some vision down. They'll just control that area of the map. Liquid, they are hanging by the mid-tier 2 tower. Of course, they do not know about the eggs on the Grim Stroke, so they won't know about that Dark Portrait yet, as Mickey is going to jump in. Pure will be able to jump away with the Ogre Seal Totem. Now GPK looking to jump in onto the Dusa. They have at least silenced him up for now. In comes Liquid, prepping for the team fight, and it seems though BetBoom, they are still sticking around. Here comes Pure, he gets a hoop stop off, but no, it's cancelled. Meanwhile, Saberlight misses the spear onto the Lifestealer. They'll get a soul mine onto 2. Pure is in pretty big danger. He is trapped between a rock and a hard place, but the BKB allows him to get away. Dreamcore committed, but nobody is dying in this team fight. Nobody's dying. Everyone's just alive. Everyone just gets the hell out. A Save is the one to go down.
Again.
Poor old Save. How ironic. You call yourself Save, and the only person you can't save is yourself.
I mean, it happens. Purest of Ironies coming out here. A nice big engagement to break out, but the damage is just not enough. You get the Dark Portrait going, it's kind of just tickling at this moment, especially, and it does melt really fast if there's no one else to back it up. The movement out from BetBoom.
You are. Up is there, Nisha. They've got the Yules out. Saberlight, he gets the spear off. This will be a much, much bigger kill. Pure has the Ogre Steel Totem. Will try to jump in the arena. Is down. Nightfall. He moved in to help out, but they've already lost the Centaur. Nightfall, though, will be able to rage and just walk out of the arena as now GPK moves in. So does Toronto, but Toronto's getting slowed up and is in huge trouble. And he has got a boom. Oh, here we go, Team Liquid. They're onto the high ground. And BetBoom, they are lacking 2 heroes.
It's a huge opening for Liquid. Fortify still up, buyback is available on your Pugna, but the Pugna alone is not going to be enough. Mika just standing forward. He feels indestructible right now, but just, he is so confident. With that Eternal Shroud, I don't know if you're going to be able to melt his mana.
It's so tough. It is so tough now if you are BetBoom. You'll have to watch that mid-rack slowly just be chipped away at by Liquid. They are still trying to chip away the HP pools. They do go for the Soul Bind. They'll try onto Mickey. Mickey already quite low on mana, but is still perfectly fine as a swap out. He is there, in fact, no disruption. We'll be able to save at least GPK. Getting trapped in that. Now Saberlight moving in on to save. We'll find the Grimstrike once again. Save is down. Now GPK. He got stunned for a moment. Can they get him a second time? Nisha, he's having a look around, but it seems as though they might have to leave, but no. Nisha wants to go back in, but eventually will retreat with the Rolling Thunder. As BetBoom, they will not be able to punish Liquid. They get away for free.
Liquid backs off. They do hold on to their racks here on BetBoom, so not all doom and gloom. They did manage to actually drop Mickey down to 0 mana. They just couldn't be on top of that Dusa. So there is still a way of kind of dealing with that mana pool, dealing with a little bit of that regen coming in. It will get tougher though, once this Dusa has the full disperser, even more agi coming out, even more damage. Bit of a double-edged sword with a good Dark Portrait. Again, it does feel, at this point, it's a lot easier for Liquid to play the games. Now, they can come in with a Rolling Thunder, they can storm in with the arena, whereas for BetBoom, your big tool really is Dream Coil. You can maybe count the Hoof Stomp Blink with the Infest. It's just massively risky in comparison to what Liquid has. As long as their backline hugs so far back, you'll always have save, you'll always have disruption. Bursting these heroes on Liquid just feels a lot tougher.
It seems like it's all about Roshan now. 36 minutes in. BetBoom, they will be able to set up for the Roshan play. Wards are down on the high ground of the Twin Gates. And Liquid, they do have a little bit of vision towards the south, but that is about it as Roshan. It is going to be obvious it's happening. Roshan does roar. Liquid, do they decide to go? That's the big question. Roshan, less than half HP, is looking like it's just gone. The smoke is out from Liquid. Are they going to keep the fight going? It seems like they are maybe going to give it a crack. BetBoom, the ones trying to retreat. Liquid, though, hesitating just a little bit. Still waiting for the angle. They do get a nice courier of GPK. That was the Daedalus gone. And Saberlight, he is still looking around. It's BetBoom. They do have a few heroes still around this area. But there's no vision, at least for Liquid. Only for BetBoom. Liquid, they will retreat towards their own vision now. Not feeling safe. They'll see Saberlight for a moment, though Saberlight does manage to blink away. BetBoom still so patient, waiting by their own vision, just hoping Liquid runs into them, but that is just not going to be the case. BetBoom will leave.
Back off. Liquid actually rather fortunate that the side of BetBoom didn't choose to force the envelope out. Mika being very close to that ramp in a really delicate area. Taking away that Daedalus on the puck is actually massive. 2.5 minutes when you don't have that huge damage, the insane damage with the Dream Coil coming in yet. So it overlaps quite a fair bit with the Aegis, which makes it tougher for BetBoom. We've seen again in these fights, they can drag down the Dusa low enough, but they need more damage. Like the moment they drop Mika low, they've still got the saves. You've got Swap, you've got Disruption, you've got the Arena even to block off defensively. And it's just, again, the execution's coming easier and easier onto the side of Liquid.
You've got to be so careful. Here's Saberlight looking for the setup. He does have a side device up, Nightfall. Oh, he doesn't jump. He will not jump. That side device, it is instantaneous. It is very hard to rage away from that. Saberlight trying to go for the surprise reveal would not be so lucky this time around. However, BetBoom, they are still setting up down that top lane. They'll send the Medusa illusions in here with Boxy. And it kind of forced BetBoom to make a decision. Are we going to defend this top tier 2 or are we leaving? Saberlight, he's looking towards a lifestealer, but no. Once again, does retreat, not seeing the opening he was looking for. BetBoom, they will go right after that Tormentor. This one will go towards Nightfall now, so you do have the open wounds available.
a rather interesting thing for BetBoom. With the Aegis, they're still forced to play very defensively, respecting that fight potential coming out from Liquid. Again, the net worth disparity is not that big. It's mainly just on the Deuce. Everyone else, you're feeling pretty good on side of BetBoom. They've got the Infest ready on GPK, a minute away from that Courier. If they wanted to be patient, honestly, they'll still have time to try this play with the Daedalus up in the puck. And that will mitigate some of these damage issues they're facing. They're doing a great job of just leaving Liquid up top and constantly shoving back this wave. But eventually, this tower will just fall.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just nothing you can do about it. Even with the Aegis and Cheese, you just don't want to take the fight. I'm not sure if they actually scouted out the Hex there on Saberlight, but if they did, obviously, now feeling very, very uncomfortable against this Mars. Nightfall. Go back to farming. Looks like he's going to have his MKB up rather soon. Needs about 1.2k gold for that. Scan is out from BetBoom. They are going to know exactly where Liquid are hiding at the moment, and that is in the Radiant Triangle. Liquid. The thing is, you have Shadow Demon Medusa, so you can play the slow siege here with the Disruption Illusions, and well, that's exactly what they're going to do. In fact, Mickey will even go and start chipping away, telling BetBoom, you better come and fight us.
That's a really damn quick push. You've got to stop this. Fortify force down, but one more move in. That's going to be another lane open for the taking here.
At least GPK is trying to creep skip, but does eventually TP back towards the bases. He does now have the Daedalus. That swap is out. Oh, they've got the Aegis.
Oh,
that is one life. Here we go. Can they get the second? They want the life stealer. The spear's going to land. Save the life. He times up perfectly, and they have lost their carry. No buyback available. It's Pure. Pure has been caught. Pure is down. On to save, they go, save will follow. 3 down for BetBoom. It seems as though they find GPK to boot, but here comes the buyback. The problem is they do not have the life stealer. Pure is going to jump in. He'll try to save this game and save a life. Will go down. No buyback available for him, but look at GPK. GPK is dropping way too fast. Mickey is hitting way too hard to save. May have to die back. The chase is on, but it seems as though the Crepify will save for now. But the Rax, nothing is saving the Rax as Pure does manage to get away from the side of Liquid.
He's stalling for time, just dragging the creep away. It's still going to end up here. You've got to do something about Mike. The damage output on this Deuce is just too damn high, and that swap from Insania. What a hero play coming out there. Mid, top to fall, bot open for the taking as well with no tier 2 to defend. Liquid, they play into the Aegis, and
it's confidence.
It's just perfect. Just starting with that swap, you're not safe.
They understand their timings very well with their own draft. Even with the Aegis up on BetBoom, they knew they were the stronger team. The thing is, you do now have the Lifestealer coming back up. So this could be the last fight. If you are BetBoom, they're going to try and jump in onto Mickey. Stuns are out. Half his mana is gone. However, Nisha just going to jump in like a Giga Chat, trying to go for the fight. Mickey still in the middle of all this, now going to turn right back around as the Stampede and Infest is going to allow Pure to get his carry out of there, but you've got to fight. Mega's going to be incoming. They'll try for the Shattered Demon, but Insania will save the day, and now Nightfall. Nightfall's between a rock and a hard place. He'll try to turn and fight, but he will be forced to run. They know the disruption. It's going to hold him down, and Nightfall is gone. GG is called. Liquid, they will take game 1 of this best